Good evening and welcome to Simple Scotch Reviews. So here we have a classic. It's the standard Glenmorangie, the original 10-year-old. So I realized I have several Glenmorangie reviews on the channel, just realized the standard 10-year-old is not on there. So figured time to rectify that mistake. So this whiskey, it's one I haven't had a whole lot. You'd think for, I've had a lot of Glenlivet 12 in my day, Glenfiddich 12, like those kind of things. But I haven't had as much of the Glenmorangie 10. I, for some reason, wasn't looking back on it fondly, but I figured I'd get a little bit to do a review on it because it'd been a while. So Glenmorangie 18 is one of my favorite whiskeys, and I think this whiskey teases me because the nose on it has some notes in common, obviously from the same distillery and no heavy wine cask finish. Similar notes to the Glenmorangie 18, so it teases me with that, but obviously it's not that whiskey. So for me, this whiskey, the nose teases the 18, but the palate's definitely nothing like it. So let's get into it. So it is aged entirely in ex-bourbon barrels. There's no wine finish whatsoever to the standard 10-year-old. Just for comparison, that 18-year-old, I believe it's 5% of the whiskey used is finished in ex-Oloroso sherry casks. It's only 5%, so a small portion of it, just to give it a little bit of hint of sherry. But this whiskey, all ex-bourbon, let's dive in. So on the nose, I'm getting some of that nice, it's a distinctly Glenmorangie, it's like an apricot note that I don't really get in many other whiskeys. Maybe a hint of vanilla. Some nice citrus, just, very light, delicate, some citrus, some of that apricot, maybe a little peach. So this whiskey, to me, the nose is superior to the palate. So the palate is, to me, a bit thin. It is a 40% ABV, but don't think I'm one of those haters. I enjoy several 40% ABV whiskeys. So in this whiskey, get on that flavor spectrum. This is a nice whiskey that just resides firmly in that upper stratosphere of delicate light notes. But again, there's other delicate whiskeys. This is just there's no deep, no richness really, but no deep dark flavors, like no brown sugar, no like in the fruits, no plums, dates, raisin, none of that. It's all some of those lighter fruit flavors, hint of citrus. There is a hint of vanilla in the palate that I don't get on the nose at all. So for me, this palate is quick, very quickly fleeting and fading away. I don't get much of a finish on it. A little apricot, maybe peach, some of those stone fruits. Maybe a little red apple in there. Definitely no green apple. And then I get a very, very, very faint hint of baking spice and a very, very, very faint hint of vanilla. Almost both of those almost not there for me. Mostly just a light fruit. And then as quick as it comes, it goes. Very short finish there. Not mouth coating or anything, but overall, it's a nice whiskey. It is very entry level, so it's not high priced by any means. So very nice sipper, good summertime scotch. Overall, it's a classic. Everyone has to try it. So it's going to get a must try just from the standpoint of it's Glenmorangie 10. You have to try it. But also, of those entry level ones, it's not bad. I need to do a comparison review of Glenmorangie 10, Glenlivet 12, Glenfiddich 12, just those entry three. That's kind of the big three, I guess. So just do an entry comparison of them just to see what I prefer. From my mind, if I'm gonna want to order those, if you're new to Scotch and it helps, for me, I guess I would probably order it Glenmorangie, Glenlivet 12, Glenfiddich 12. Other people would order it differently, but for me, a little more complexity, a little more, not to say that's how I'd order those distilleries as a whole necessarily, but yeah, Glenlivet puts out some good stuff, Glenfiddich puts out some good stuff, Glenmorangie puts out some stuff. All three good distilleries, but if you're looking at entry-level whiskeys, but they're cheap and everyone needs to try all three of those. So don't just say, oh, I'll just try Glenmorangie 10 though. If you're brand new to Scotch, just curious on this, and if you are new to Scotch and have questions, ask in the comments. I'm happy to answer questions in the comments and offer suggestions. So if you are new to Scotch, don't really know where to go, I've been there. I remember it's kind of overwhelming with all those brand names, and some aren't even available near you. And even now, there's, tons on the shelf that I've never tried, and it's part of the fun, but you also don't, you can't just buy them all immediately. So yeah, kind of using these reviews to differentiate what to get now, what to get later. I'm happy to answer questions, or if you have questions about other whiskeys that I've seen this on the shelf, have you tried it? Be happy to answer if I have tried it. That being said, definitely try some Glenmorangie 10 if you haven't. Hope this impromptu video helped. I know it's a very low budget here, but quick impromptu video. Check out the channel, like, subscribe, lots of reviews. There's more to come. Hopefully these reviews help you as you go through your whiskey journey. I know early on it can be difficult to pick out flavors, so hopefully if you see any of my reviews on a whiskey you have, it might help you find something you didn't find before. Otherwise, if you haven't bought it and you're wanting an opinion before you buy it, hopefully it helps with that too. I like to do the comparison reviews because if you're interested, you're like, I've never tried, insert random distillery here. Which do I start with? I like doing a breakdown of, if you haven't tried a Glenfiddich in the main line, try Glenfiddich 15. Just something like that, just because sometimes, I want to try Glenfiddich or I want to try whatever brand, but there's too many options. I can't buy them all right away. So what do I try first? Or you're looking at too long. So I like the comparison reviews. Hopefully I can get more of those up. There's a lot on my list that I'd like to do, and lots queued up, other whiskeys to review. So hopefully this helps. Subscribe to the channel, stay up to date, check out the channel. Tons of other whiskey types, in addition to single malt Scotch, blended Scotch, other things. I've rambled enough. Enjoy this quick hitter impromptu review and drop a comment with a question if you have one. I'll try to answer it if I know, or otherwise point you in the right direction. Thanks for watching.